Just going to do a quick video of some charts of interest here. The SPY did bounce off this bottom here, formed a bit of a double bottom here, so it's just in a bit of a range here on the 4-hour, and it's not particularly bearish. We've got a flat Kijunsen here on the daily, so it's not particularly bearish, but it's not particularly bullish either. It's just one of those ones that you've got to handle very. You can only really trade this intraday at the moment the way it is. You can't really take any long-term outlook on it because the conditions are changing from day to day. The volatility is not such a bad thing. Volatility is going to return now that so we've got to be people had many years of low volatility and they got into some sort of slumber, and now they're sort of starting to wake up that the market's actually move a bit through the day, they don't just melt up or down anymore. So look at the VIX now. As I said last time, the VIX, this daily was still up. I said the VIX can still spike from here, which is exactly what it did. Didn't make a new high though on the 4-hour, and it looks to be turning down now in the week ahead. The VIX should turn down, and we should get a bit of a rally in stocks depending on what any Trump tweets or anything like that can change the outlook very quickly. So what you think is going to happen one day can be completely different another day. So let's just keep an eye on it. The Nasdaq is just in the Kumo here on the daily. Nothing much to see in that. Just short-term trading that at the moment. But the small caps made a bottom here on the daily. The small caps usually get hit the hardest, so they did form a base of support here, and it looks like it's trying to rally up to the flat Kijunsen here. So could see a rally up to the in the week ahead on the small caps. Oil rallied off this support here, and it's quite volatile at the moment. I've been listening to the experts on Macro Voices Energy Week, and a lot of them are quite confused about what's going on. So what hope does someone like me got, who's all you can do is trade this according to the conditions, and according to the 4-hour and the daily here, it's very much choppy and rangy. So you've just got to take it as it comes, and Bitcoin's in this distribution here above and below the Kijunsen here, the flat Kijunsen. It's found support on the dot here again, so it looked like the volume profile is quite weak here. That's typical of a distribution. This is a classic distribution as you would get in any stock or Forex or anything else. Bitcoin trades exactly the same. People say, oh, you wouldn't be able to use charts on cryptos. Of course you do. It's exactly the same. Litecoin broke down here on the daily, and it's gone quite a bit lower. So I think the weekly's below the Kijunsen now. There it is. Yeah. It's hit quite hard, Litecoin has, and some of the other altcoins for that matter. But we'll see what happens. It's not. Let's always say cryptos are not something to be investing in long term. In my opinion, they're for short term trading. Whether anyone takes any notice of what I say or not, I don't really care. That's the way I look at it, and take it or leave it. Euro Bund has just been on fire. It's making record lows in the yield and pushing the price up dramatically. I thought it was going to break down here, but it held again. So look how far it is. It's been overbought for so long here now. It's not funny, but it stays overbought though when it's like this, because the volume profile is very weak up here, but you'd expect it to turn down. But every time you keep expecting it to turn down, it looks like it's going to rally on again. So how far this goes is anyone's guess, but it's a sure sign of trouble for for the economy, that's for sure, for Europe and for that matter the rest of the world. TLT is on fire. Would not want to be shorting this, even though it's way overbought. It could only be a short-term pullback if it does pull back. It's hard to say. Commodities, corn and that, a lot of the commodities have been hit really hard with various economic outlooks are showing up in commodities, grains and whatnot. Gold has formed a bit of a top here, a bit of a double top on the 4 hour here, so I wouldn't be surprised if gold comes back a bit. It's very extended past the key Jensen at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised to see gold come back a bit, and then we'll have to see what it does from there. But it's one of those. It's being a safe haven. It's people are bidding it up. That's what's happening. But let's have a look at the US dollar now. That's the US dollar's been strong this rally here, and it turned up. It's in a bit of a distribution here at the moment, but see if it has another go at this high again. But I don't think so. I think it's going to turn. It looks like it wants to turn down, but you don't really know at this point. It's a bit hard to say, but certainly Trump's going to be angry as hell if it does break out to a new high. He's going to be fuming. Euro pound. This is a trade I've been following and obviously trading it through the week, and took it out, closed it out just ahead of the weekend. I don't like to hold trades over the weekend, but that was an awesome rally, awesome run to the downside on this, and like I'd said, I'd been following this for quite a few weeks, and it's just a matter of you can't anticipate what it's going to do. You've just got to trade according to the conditions. When you see the setup, you just got to take it. You don't know how long it's going to take to get there, but pound US has had a bit of a rally. That's why the euro's been down and the pound's been rallying a bit. But from what I'm hearing, it could be an election in September in the UK, so a no confidence vote, and it could be a lot of turmoil coming up. So this September's going to be a eye opener, I'd say. It's a lot of things aligning. Pound yen's been awesome. Look at that. Some really nice downtrends on pound yen, and it's just rallied again against the yen now, but the yen's come off a bit and the pound's been a bit stronger. But New Zealand Jappy, as I call it, NZ Jappy as I call it, New Zealand yen, it's got a little bit of trying to make a bit of a bounce up to here in the week ahead, but pound Swissy, that's been a huge downtrend on this. It's now broken, had a bit of some quite nice long action here into the end of the week, and on that bounce, this one tried NZ Swissy, that tried to rally a bit but didn't do much. I thought it was going to do better than that, but that's been awesome shorting NZ US. Yeah, it's probably going to try to, at some point, it's run out of steam on the volume profile here, so it's going to try to make a turn back up at some point, but I thought it would have done it through like by the end of the week. I thought it would have turned up, but it's quite weak. The NZ's quite weak against the US, and NZ CAD, that's had a nice little rejection off there, so it was trying to make a rally up to the Cajuns here, but it got snuffed out at the resistance here. So and Euro Swissy, that was, didn't do much with that, I don't think. No, had been awesome shorting on that. So and what else? Euro NZ, that's Euro NZ was another nice one, but I caught some. I thought this was going to do better than this, but it's just it is trying to turn down, but NZ's been quite weak. So we have a look at the futures here. Euro's been down, US has been up, CAD's been still in a bit of a downtrend. Swissy formed a bit of a double top here, and it's turned down a bit. Come back. Where'd you go? Just refreshing. Pound had a little bit of a rally, and yen's been off a bit. 30, 10-year, 5-year, 2-year, they're all been bid on the US bonds. Commodities here, they've been hit pretty hard. Oats have had a little. Don't trade oats; they're too hard to not enough liquidity in oats. But they've been down. Live cattle, don't trade live cattle; it's too hard. Copper's been down a bit. Copper can be good, but not at the moment. Lean hogs. Don't trade lean hogs either because they're too hard. Any cattle are too hard to trade on futures, but so wheat's often a good one to trade, but I haven't been trading that as much lately. But do trade some futures, commodity futures, but gas obviously and oil obviously I trade, and I don't trade gold. I don't trade gold and silver. I trade the stocks and ETFs on gold and silver, but don't trade the actual commodity futures themselves. But what else? That's about it. DAX has tried to rally a little bit, and the Nikkei tried to rally a bit. When the yen's down a bit, the Nikkei will rally, and that's about it really. The Breadth indicator is still bearish here on the monthly, so it looks like it'll probably close the month. That was probably a false breakout here, and it'll probably close the month back below this resistance here again. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the market's going to turn into a bear market or anything. It just means that you've got to be cautious, obviously, because the momentum is to the downside at the moment. And we've seen this develop quite quickly in the past. It has been bearish, and then in other times it doesn't turn out to be much at all. So you just got to be aware of it, and that's about it. That'll do for now, I think. Just a quick one, and it's been a super busy week and an awesome week, and hopefully you're going well with it too. Bye for now.